Fox 47, it's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs.
Big Ten Media Day always kicks off the anticipation of college football.
Our student athletes, our coaches, our chancellors, our presidents, our fans have had so much to do with us being here today.
Our three main goals are beat the team up north, win the Big Ten championship, and go to SoFi Stadium and play the national championship and win that.
Opening the season in Big Ten play on the road, Purdue, blackout.
They're going to be hungry out to prove themselves, and we've got to play at a high level.
It's all about the vision of winning the Big Ten West. To get there, it's a long process, it's a long journey.
The best part about playing in the Big Ten is that you're playing against the best competition.
Balance of academics, balance of athletics.
Hard-nosed football that's ground and pound.
I love how competitive it is, how much talent is in here.
The athletes that we have in the Big Ten, I don't think no other conference can match that.
A lot of voices and a lot of information there for people covering the Big Ten. Can't imagine why anyone covering that league wouldn't want to be there. Tom, C.J. Stroud's voice was loud and proud, but what was your overall impression of the Big Ten's second kickoff in Indy after more than 30 years in Chicago? And who impressed you other than the U of M and MSU players?
Well, I know you like the throwback days where the Conrad Hilton in Chicago and some of these other places that we've had, the Marriott and places.
Yeah.
But I love this all-inclusive place at Lucas Oil because I mean it's all on one floor, and it kind of gets you in the mood. I mean, I'm sitting on the field I sat as a fan at the Big Ten championship when Michigan beat Iowa, just replaying that game in my mind. So I love, and just that video, the Big Ten is really ramping things up and BTN on how they cover this thing. It's really well done. But I'm a football nerd, Jack, and I just love hearing coaches that I respect more than I could. Kurt Ferentz. Some people think, oh, that old guy. I hang on every word. He's such a class act. I like Greg Schiano. There's an underrated guy. I mean, some people have strong thoughts about Greg Schiano. That guy's a great football mind. He's realistic about expectations in Piscataway. He's impressive. Of course, Mel Tucker is impressive. I've talked about that. But Ryan Day is impressive, too. He is such a smooth dude. And the Ohio State University is a friggin' machine, that whole program.
Tom, I want to take a look at last year's Big Ten standings. No one would have believed that the Wolverines and Spartans would go from 4-9 combined in 21 to 23-4 last year. Looking ahead, who finishes 1, 2, 3 in each of the league's divisions?
Well, I'm going to go Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State this year. And the only reason I have Michigan over Michigan State is I think that Michigan's going to find a way to beat Michigan State on the 29th. And you queued me up on this one about Minnesota. I know you've been really bullish on PJ Fleck's team. And I think they're going to manage to win this thing this year. I think it's their time. And so I got Minnesota number 1, Iowa 2, and Wisconsin 3.
Cody, what does it mean that your dad and I agree on so much? We must have been in the car for a long time together.
Yeah, that's a little strange. It must be the summer, and you guys are running out of topics to discuss.
All right, Cody, let's take a look at the Mid-American Conference last season. And who are the teams to beat and the top contenders this year?
Well, you can tell you this, and this is not just coach speak, but you see everyone over in the West, every one of those teams really has a shot to win. That's the thing about anyone who follows MAC football. As you can see, there's not a lot of disparity between there. All those teams. Northern Illinois is obviously the reigning champion. Toledo, we open up conference play with. Western's our big rival, as well as Eastern. And Ball State just won the conference a couple years ago.
Right.
On the East, Miami's been the consistent one, and Kent State's doing a great job there. And then you got some teams, those last 4 that I think are going to be hungry, and some newer coaches. So as always, the MAC's going to be fun to watch, especially when we roll around to November, those midweek MACtion games.
Says a lot about that division when the last place teams have a 500 record. Gentlemen, I want you to take a look at my AP preseason top 25 ballot. Something that I submitted today, final time in 5 decades of covering the sport. It's my last year of doing it. Cody, I can take it. Where did I screw up?
As I'm looking at it, I'm not as familiar just watching film on all these teams, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with a couple. I know a lot of people, just based off last year, are questioning Clemson if they can stay at the top. USC, obviously everyone's intrigued with that one. I think Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman, obviously they got a lot of good stuff that they're not used to, just with the attention they're bringing to their program. And then obviously Texas A&M has all the pressure in the world. So it'll just in that top 10. I like Wake Forest. I think Dave Clawson, he obviously is probably as good as coach out there, just does a great job of maximizing that program.
And I have Oklahoma State 14th. That might be a little high when they suffer a loss to a MAC school.
We'll have to wait and see.
We'll be right back talking Lions and Tigers next.
At Jeff's Pizza.